After months of delays, House and Senate leaders in Congress reached a deal to pass a $900 billion stimulus bill on Capitol Hill last night. It's going to send aid to Americans and, of course, struggling businesses across the country. This bill includes enhanced unemployment benefits and direct cash payments that were brought in at the last minute. Senator Amy Klobuchar is joining me from Washington. Senator, you are there for the final vote on this measure, which is expected tonight. This is good news for families and businesses, of course, but direct aid and to states and liability protections for companies was left out. Why was that?
Well, this was a negotiation, and those are two things that will be revisited clearly next year. But right now, what we were focused on, which is so important for Rochester, is the vaccine distribution, more funding to expand the usage of the vaccine, as well as rapid testing and the like, and funding for hospitals. So that is key. Then you had a whole bunch of business proposals, including mine on the stages that got in, helping our small businesses, over $300 billion for that. And then finally, individual help. Including a $600 check for anyone that makes under $75,000, which would also, you would add a check for each family member for kids. So that's going to help people in the short term. The whole idea here is to get us to the day after tomorrow, what I call that time where the pandemic is in our rearview mirror. And we can't be in a strong position as a country and economically if we don't get there. So this was a big bipartisan job of negotiating this in the Senate. I was pleased to be part of it and pleased with the bill that came out of it.
Yes, and there will be a lot of happy musicians as well. I do want to get to the Save Our Stages Act. So when I was looking up where things were at this hour within about 40 minutes ago, everything that came up with your name, Senator, was about the Save Our Stages Act.
Well, it's a national bill that I've led with Senator Cornyn, the Republican from Texas. And I think people never thought it was possible, yet they know these are some of the hardest hit employees and businesses. You can't go stand in a mosh pit in the middle of a pandemic. And we have to get them through this time. And so what this is, and it helps so many, everything from small country music venues to First Avenue in the Twin Cities, to small zoos, you name it. It's really hit at what sometimes are the heart of our communities, and we can't keep losing these, or it's going to be really hard for downtowns to bounce back.
They are considering you, those within the music industry are considering you a rock star today. Hey, let's switch gears.
Well, the bill had the support of everyone from Pitbull to Lady Gaga to every Nashville. So it was a real national effort, actually led by Dana Frank, who's the head of First Avenue. So the two of us teamed up.
That's nice. That's good news for them. Undocumented immigrants, let's go there. Those without Social Security numbers are going to be ineligible for these cash payments. But something that's different from the last stimulus bill is that their spouses and their children who do have Social Security numbers will be eligible.
Yeah, and that makes sense. If you have a Social Security number and that means you're here and you are working, or you are someone that's been established as part of our country by the U.S. government, that you would be part of this as well. We have a lot of immigrants who are here legally, and kids that were born here through no fault of their own, that this would apply to. So that was part of the negotiations. And I think it's part of this push next year to look at immigration reform to make this system more sane, because there's some real problems with it.
I do want to talk about the unemployment programs, though. There's two of them specifically that got extensions from what was put in the last bill back in March. Address those.
Sure. Well, this is about the major piece of this is the $300 a month that will be in addition to the unemployment people have. I'm sorry, could I give that answer
Yeah,
again?
absolutely. You go ahead.
Okay. The major part of this is the $300 a week that will be added to people's unemployment to help them. And it's just over a 3-month period because we'll be able to then assess exactly where the economy is in 3 months and perhaps continue it, look at where we continue it depending on what the economy is like in certain areas. And this happened before when we had the downturn out of the financial crisis. Gradually, we reduced the numbers of extra help from the federal government as the economy got better. And you want to make it work for individuals and the economy. So that's how we decided to do it. It was a negotiated amount.
I thank you for everything that you have done and for your time. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.